Breaker19, this here's the Gear Jamming Deer. Whitetail has got your front door, come on. So I'm back with more of the ETS2 Driving Academy. The decision I've made here, because I'm a bit of a masochist, I'm going to play through all of this as well. Once again, skipping this one. I meant to have already done that one, but I forgot. But here's what I did. So I brought the Peterbilt over, as well as the brand new Freightliner. My thinking was, I wanted to get the most European-influenced American truck, which you'd think would be the Volvo, but having driven a Volvo and a Freightliner, I honestly feel like the Cascadia feels more European. You can definitely feel Mercedes' influence. So I brought this over, so this is like my, Europeanized American truck, so to speak. And then I also just went with the classic American beast, which this is literally just the exact same 389 config that's in the default Academy and ATS. So I'm going to try to go through the entire thing with this truck. However, this truck does not fit in any of the completion zones. It doesn't fit with a trailer, and it doesn't fit without a trailer. So, that's why I also brought the Freightliner. If I either can't complete a challenge because I need to trigger a completion zone that this truck just won't trigger, or I can't complete a challenge because there's just a turn that I cannot make with such a big truck, then I'll be switching to the Freightliner. So basically my goal is kind of to find out how many of these challenges I can do with a full-size, more or less full-size American truck. And once again, we are skipping chapter 1 because that's just the most basic stuff. So let's just start with this. So recording this is gonna be sort of weird, because I'm basically gonna record all of these with the 389, and then record all of them with the Freightliner, because I'm gonna have to do all of them with the Freightliner anyway, since the 389 can't trigger the completions zones. And then I'll just edit together the ones that are pertinent. And also, fun fact, I was planning on having both of the hood mirrors, but the game gets a little confused with that, because there isn't spots for 2 mirrors on the front of the truck in ETS, because European trucks only have the 1 mirror. And it's never been an issue that actually crashed the game. It was just you couldn't adjust one of the mirrors. But in the Academy, if you try to bring a truck with 2 hood mirrors, it actually crashes the game. Alright. So, obviously, as I said, this truck does not fit in the completion zones whatsoever. It's really pretty. I don't know what is different with the way the shaders are loading in this game versus ATS, but this truck is absolutely gorgeous. Anyway. But if the completion zone was just a small bit bigger, I would very obviously be able to complete this event with this truck. So, we call this a completion, and we move on to the next one. God, this is going to be a lot of editing. I mean, that's sort of looking at the side view mirror. Oh. Oh, it was talking about that mirror. Okay, it was not looking at that mirror. Alright, so this is just the same challenge that I did in this exact same truck in ATS. Except that, once again, obviously, I cannot trigger the completion zone because this truck is too big. But that would be a completion. So we move on to the next one. Alright, so this will be the first one that might be interesting in such a large truck. What? Alright, it looks like we found our first one that this truck can't do. Hold on, I want to watch the replay and see if I can figure out what's going on. I assume the truck is spawning inside something. No, it doesn't look like it. Well, the example doesn't seem to have any problems doing it with this truck. But I don't know why exactly I can't do it. It's just being completely confused. That's really funny. Alright, let me switch to the Freightliner. Okay, so interestingly, the game crashed when I went to change trucks. I'm not sure what exactly that was about. But let me just... Nope. Oh. Ooh, God. This truck has too much power. you hear that? I'm getting wheel spin. I'm actually genuinely getting wheel spin. Alright. That's a challenge actually completed with the truck I was driving in it. On to the next one. Alright, let's see if it'll actually let me do this one. Hey, it will! But I think we're immediately not going to be able to continue because I have a trigger. And this truck isn't going to be able to trigger that trigger because it's too big. Alright, well, we can see that we cannot see. Okay, yeah, so I'd say this is the first one that's actually, for size reasons, not possible in this truck. I'm gonna give it one more try. See if I can do it without hitting any cones. Just gonna go full third person here, because honestly, doing these maneuvers in this truck that this course isn't made for... We're gonna ignore that. Okay, I was able to make that maneuver without hitting a cone. This will be a very good showing of just how much more maneuverable European trucks are. Alright, and there we go. This one is technically possible with the Peterbilt. Just as technically possible as all the other ones that were technically possible were. The only reason I can't complete it with the Peterbilt is because I can't trigger the triggers with this big of a truck. So that means on to the next one. Alright, so the same thing as last time, but with reversing. I'd be very surprised if this one is not possible with this truck. And there we go. It is indeed possible with this truck, or would be if this truck wasn't too big. Ta-da. This one, I'm going to guess, is not going to be possible. There's just no way they left a gap wide enough or long enough for a truck this big. There is no way in hell. Ow. Well, it doesn't help if I hit a cone. Oh, I don't think it's going to fit anyway, so I'm just going to keep going. Well, this is actually looking slightly possible. Okay, neither of those are actual hits. Okay, granted it was a little messy, but I am going to count that. You saw that both the collisions with the other trucks were colliding with air, the hitboxes being just ever so slightly off. And as for hitting the cone, I mean, yeah, I did hit a cone, but I could have done it without hitting the cone. I'm not going to go back and show that, but I could have done it. So I'm counting this as being done with the Peterbilt. I'm very surprised I was actually able to do this one. Alright, there's no way this truck is going to make this turn. Oh, it actually did. Alright, so driving on a handling track. This is one of the ones that I have actually already completed. But, let's see if it's possible in a Peterbilt. Well, not too bad so far. You've been able to carry a decent bit of speed through some of this. This bit, I have doubts about. This bit felt tight in the DAF. Well, it only took about an 8-point turn, but I did make the corner. Alright, and somewhat surprisingly, that is the handling circuit completed with the Peterbilt. Looky there. That was another one that I wasn't sure I believed was going to be possible. Mostly just for that last corner. Anyway, on to the next one. Alright, the advanced training course. So this one is another one that I had already done, but I apparently tapped something or something like that and failed it. I don't remember exactly what it was that failed it for me, but regardless. This slalom is already feeling very tight. Beautiful. You know what this sort of reminds me of is the Top Gear episode when Jeremy and James are comparing classic luxury cars. And Jeremy has the Mercedes Big. The 600 XL or something like that, or SL. And James has the Rolls-Royce Corniche. Oops. And once again, when I do something like that with the Peterbilt, I'm not going to bother restarting because I'm going to have to do it again in a different truck anyway. That's another one of those things where I'm 99% sure I could have made that turn without hitting that cone. I just didn't realize I was about to hit the cone. This bit might take some shimmying to get myself on the other side of that wall. Is that the end of it? Okay. No, there's a cone. Is that the only cone? I think it is the only cone. Okay, I actually did that without hitting anything. Nice. Barely. Alright, am I only supposed to back up this far? Yeah. Oh. I think I rubbed a cone there, but the game didn't count it. I'll take it. Wow, that corner was surprisingly possible. I didn't even have to do a multi-point turn. That's surprising. Not bad. Oh, I just noticed that I didn't get close enough to those barriers to trigger the thing. That's probably why it didn't count me hitting that cone. Oh well. Well, that is the challenge done with the Peterbilt. Once again, I'm not going to worry about that sort of getting confused because I didn't hit the thing right, because I wouldn't have been able to actually complete it anyway. But with that, that is the entirety of Chapter 2 done with the Peterbilt. Alright, so there we go. The entirety of Chapter 2 done, mostly with the Peterbilt. So that'll be it for this video. I'm not sure if this is gonna be more or less or even equally entertaining to me doing it in ATS, but I just thought this would be a silly challenge, and frankly, it's way too tedious for me not to record it and get some benefit out of doing it. So, I hope you're enjoying, and until next time, keep the hammer down, drivers.